Welcome in, everyone. This is another episode of DB's Best Bets presented by Full Time Roundup. It is your host, Daniel Brackett. Alongside of me, Harrison Clark. We are back in business for this week. Excited to recap last week as well as give you picks for not only the midweek games, but the weekend games. So just a little housekeeping before we get started. Let's go Canes. Let's go Canes. Two local guys over here pulling for the Canes. Me and Matt dropped a podcast last night, did it live. So go ahead and check that out on YouTube and Spotify. And if you're looking or watching this video right now, go ahead and like this video and subscribe to the Full-Time Roundup YouTube. Follow us on Twitter at Full-Time Roundup and follow us on TikTok at Full-Time Roundup. But most importantly, Harrison, how was your weekend? How are you doing? We doing all right?
Doing great. Like you mentioned, I would say the NHL is definitely my big passion area. And having the Canes start off 2-0, especially the game last night, that just had me screaming, hugging, rolling on the ground like a child. That was exciting. But actually, the picks for last week, we'll get into them. But let's just say I'm glad there's other sports that are on. Because my word, I don't know what the hell happened.
We're not pushing the panic button, but we're definitely a little bit concerned. We will be honest here. We'll be honest.
Yeah. No,
So,
something really went wrong. I can't pinpoint what it is. Was it just bad logic? Was it horrible picks? Was it bad information? I think it's probably a combination of a lot of things, but we'll get into it. I'm not going to say anything.
and we're going to go ahead and jump right into it right now. And Harrison, sometimes these things got to happen for even larger comebacks. So just remember that. Just remember that today. And we'll jump right into it. Just to recap here. We'll start with the play we took together, Atalanta, Liverpool. I don't know if I talked you into this. I don't know if you were kind of on board with this, but yeah, I mean, Salah with a 6, I think scored in the 6th minute here with a penalty, and we're looking golden. And then he misses a sitter. Atalanta kind of, stuff it at the back, and Liverpool in the second half came out and were toothless. And, this over never really had a chance from the 5th minute. And I still like our pick, but it was a damn shame.
It was the right idea. When Salah scored quick, I was like, oh man, get so weird here. But it just stopped. And unfortunately, what we were hoping for was a Liverpool comeback, because that would almost surely give us the over. But yeah, once it all stopped, once it went quiet, once I never got a notification for football, I knew that we were in serious moose piss to start. Tough way to start the week. Would have liked to see Liverpool gut it out for you, I know, but yeah.
Yeah, I also had Fenerbahce Olympiacos that also started out pretty solid and then kind of cooled out, went all the way to depends. And sometimes with these second legs, teams are so afraid to lose that they don't really go at it. And I felt like this is kind of what happened in this Fenerbahce game. And complete opposite of what the game we first saw in the first leg, which was completely wide open with a ton of goals. So, not my best Europa League picks here, but we'll definitely move on. And we'll start with Friday. And you had to play Friday. I end up tailing just myself. And Athletic Bilbao. How they tied to Granada, I will never know.
I don't know either.
They had good chances
17 shots, almost 2 expected goals. Once Granada scored quick, it was Bilbao scored quick. Was it?
No, Granada scored and then
I scored quick. You're right. And then they tied it. Yeah. I have Bilbao top four, so that really
I do too.
stung. That really stung for that. We're in serious trouble in that with that bet as well. So I know they have a huge game this week, which really could be the decider as to how that finishes. But really poor, really poor. I mean, that's just a game. Yeah, it's just a game you have to win. And they just decided not to do that for us. So pain is what I feel.
Definitely a gut punch, and I took both Bilbao and Atletico. So I was thinking the odds were so high that one of them would catch up with Girona, and Atletico Madrid also they lost to Alaves. So I'm in deeper shit than you are in terms of our future bet here because Girona won and they sucked. So that was a shame. I ended up tailing you just on
Liverpool
the
Europa
side.
League.
Yep, and Europa League, Liverpool did not cash, and I think I gave that out as the freest money of all time. And those words will live in infamy. So, it's okay. Didn't see that one coming, and I already put a future on Bayer Leverkusen so they could win the treble. So I'm so
I like
back.
that. I like that. I
I'm
like that a
so
lot.
back. I think they'll beat Roma next week, and we'll definitely have an episode on Monday before that because we'll definitely want to get on the action for the Champions League slate. But yeah, let's move on to the weekend here. Getting past a horrendous Thursday and Friday for both of us. And where do I want to start here? Let's start with your Chelsea to advance. I mean, I don't know. Well, I don't know what was worse for you, losing the FA Cup final or losing 5-0 today to Arsenal, but I would probably say that the City game probably hurt a little bit worse because you guys actually played as good as City and you got robbed by that late handball. So tell us about that.
Yeah. God, the handball, I'm still a little. I mean, if you're looking at the Man U Coventry game and you're comparing handballs, I mean, I don't know. Like, you could definitely make the argument that it was a handball. It's hard because I don't think Grealish is really looking at the ball. I mean, it is out there and it is stopping the play. Hurt a little worse even that the referees just didn't even see it deflect off Grealish. He just called it straight for a goal kick, but which was just like, you know, just icing on the cake at that point. But yeah, Chelsea played well. They always play well against City for some reason. And if Nicholas Jackson, I think he could use probably like a glasses prescription. Maybe he could run some sport glasses out there and find the back of the net every once in a while. That would be awesome. He had 3 breakaways, I think. The one in the first half was just like one-on-one with, was it Ortega in that? Was that right? One-on-one with Ortega, dribbles around him,
And cuts back.
decides not to go for goal, decides not to go for goal, cuts back and turns the ball over. And I was like, dude, you gotta. I mean, we really need to be better here. He had another chance in the second half, just no real power behind it. So again, like, it's not like Chelsea didn't have their chances. They've had plenty of chances. And, with City, there's always going to be a threat. And, like, really good ball movement at the back, just excellent passing as City does always. And there goes Bernardo Silva on the back post to bang in what would be the winner. So that was crushing, to be honest. And I think part of that performance is what led into the debacle that we saw today. So again, yeah, having Chelsea to advance, I mean, I felt like with how they played, it turned into a fine bet with the kind of value I had at 225, and I easily could have gone the other way. But again, lack of finishing was the crusher.
Yeah. No, I think you're spot on. Nico Jackson's an interesting one. I mean, he scored an absolute worldie against Everton, and obviously it's Everton, but it was more about the quality of the goal. And he just seems insanely hot and cold, which is a little bit confusing for me. Um, but yeah, no,
Dude, I mean,
that
he could have 25 goals this year. He could easily have 20, 25 goals this year. It's unbelievable.
I couldn't agree more. No, I genuinely couldn't agree more. And he's obviously not a finished product, so there's hope there. But he's at the end of the day, the commentator said it, which I thought the fucking commentator sucked. All he did was fucking bitch the entire time about how bad Chelsea's players were. And I was like, dude, you sound like you don't even want to be here right now. Like, can you shut up and just commentate on the game? But like
I have it
City
on
were
the background. Was it John Champion?
dude, I don't know, but he was a twat and he was annoying. And I didn't care for him very much. And I didn't even have a dog in the fight. So like that should tell you something. But anyways, off my rant, if Nico Jackson could have put the ball in the back of net, I think I would have been able to hit this over 3 fairly easily. And the fact that I lost this bet because of Nico Jackson is slightly frustrating for me. But you know, it's okay because in the FA Cup the next day I had over 3, and Manchester United decided to put 3 in the first half and then give up 3 in the second half. So, you know, you win some, you lose some. It's all chalk.
What an unbelievable game, dude. What an unbelievable game.
Haji right too.
I was watching, I was on the way back from the beach with my buddy who's a Manchester United fan. They go up 3-0 in the first half, and he's like, oh, Coventry, this team is horrific. And then, still in the car, driving home, look back down at my phone. Oh, Coventry made it 3-2. Get the turnaround from the passenger seat. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. I said, yeah, they did. Sure enough, Haji Wright, the American, ties the game, and my friend is absolutely losing his mind.
Is it Pat?
Yeah, it's Pat. Yeah, he starts going on a little rant how horrible United is. I'm like, dude, I mean, like, I don't know what to tell you, man. But it was watching extra time too. I mean, Coventry got
They had the
a
goal
step,
too.
dude.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And I was laughing my ass off watching that game. But yeah, that over turned out to be free. It was just a crazy game. Crazy game.
No, it was. It was a great game, and we'll jump to some. What's up?
I love Ten Hag's quote after the game where he's like, "We want to win. We want to win the final against Manchester City." Like, yeah, no shit, dude. Like, you sure you want to win? Like,
Oh, really?
We want to play well and win the final. Like, oh, breaking news: Coach wants to win the game.
Yeah, that guy sucks. And he like went out to defend Anthony being an absolute wanker, but he'll like call out Garnacho for like liking Instagram videos and shit like that. Like Tanag just he's like too cool where they just like don't make any sense in terms of like the words and the things they decide to say. Like it seems like it's almost like an egotistical like grab for attention and needing to have all the power. It's weird. I don't know. I hate both of those managers with all my heart. We'll get to some Premier League picks here. Fulham, Liverpool over 3.5. Thank you very much for a very good Liverpool in the second half. I was getting worried. I mean, it was 1-1 at half, but I didn't really think Liverpool was going to get this one done, to be honest, Harrison. And they kind of pulled through for me.
Yeah, that game was sweaty for a while, dude. I was like, this is the season right here. I mean, yeah, good to see Trent back. Happy that he's back in the
Banger
fold.
too. Banger of a
Yeah,
free kick.
that's what he does,
And
dude. He does.
Jota scores a goal and then gets injured for 2 weeks. So that's the story of his life. So I mean, Salah and Darwin Nunez are just in terrible form right now. So we'll see what we can do against West Ham this weekend, and maybe that's an over that you can look at. But we're not previewing yet. But that was a nice win because I didn't think I was going to get over the line there. But ended up telling you with this Bournemouth pick'em, especially after Aston Villa went 120 minutes. And the game started out perfectly with Dominic Solanke netting a penalty, and then Villa score 3 consecutive goals here at home to give them 6 points above Tottenham. Shame.
Yeah, I was about to text you. I was about to text you after Solanke scored to take the lead. I was like, yeah, it's plus 250. Give me that. I'm so glad I didn't because I would have just look like an absolute fool, dude. Because here comes Villa with 3 in a row and never actually had a chance. Yeah, when Bournemouth plays well, Solanke scores. Solanke scores every game. It's kind of crazy, actually. But
He's very good. Him and Ollie Watkins are 2 very good English strikers that if Harry Kane went down or, Ivan Toney went down, I'm definitely calling Ollie Watkins, but Dominic Solanke is like one of those sneaky players that you could, he could make some noise as a third string striker if he needed a goal really badly.
yeah, I mean, I feel like either of us could use him on our teams. But anyway, yeah, Villa 3-1, Bournemouth pick 'em, never had a chance.
Well, I had a chance for like 20 minutes.
Okay,
That's about it.
okay, you're right. Yeah, never had a chance is a little dramatic, but in the end, it didn't
It
really
never
look
had a
like it had a
chance.
chance based on the
Yeah,
score. Yeah,
that's a good
yeah,
point. And we'll go to Bundesliga here. I had Bremen Stuttgart over 3 as a push. Uh, really thought Stuttgart were going to win this game, and especially Werder Bremen off a loss 5-0 to Bayer Leverkusen. But obviously, that game was probably an embarrassment for them, so they kind of bounced back
mm-hmm.
here in a big way, and were able to go 2 up, and then Stuttgart made it interesting late. So, not winning, not losing. Sometimes that feels like a win, and I'll take the push here at over 3. But you unfortunately had a tough L here with Dortmund Leverkusen 1-1 in the last minute. And there was a couple different chances that this game could have broke right open, and including a Leverkusen chance that literally just like was stopped on the line early. But they left it too little too late, and the over 2.5 unfortunately couldn't get there, or over 3.
Yep. Leverkusen just refuses to lose the game, which is in and of itself just a crazy story. But yeah, there wasn't, besides the chances that you mentioned, there weren't really as many high dangerous chances as I thought maybe we'd see in this game with 2 teams that have the capabilities of being high flying. So that was a little disappointing to go along with just the weekend itself. But uh, yeah, just not a whole lot of great chances. So just a wrong read, I guess, on my part, or I don't know. It just seemed like just a little bit of a stalemate kind of game. So yeah, I would have loved to just get the 3 to get the push, but nope.
Well, to give you credit here, I didn't think Bayer were going to rest as many guys as they did, and they really rested their almost full starting lineup. So
Yeah,
I,
that didn't help either.
I wouldn't beat yourself up too much about that. And then, Daniel Brackett, aka MLS Sharp here, Kansas City, St. Louis over 2.5. I believe it finished 3-3, cash at any number. Also
I'm gonna
gave
switch
out
down this.
Charlotte FC as a lean. Bang, bingo, bongo. And, MLS overs keep printing. And I have a couple more for you in just a second, but let's get to this El Clasico game that, we like fun games. And when we like fun games, we like overs. And cash it at any number with a 3-2 thriller here. Jude Bellingham gets the late goal. We have some controversy with goal line technology that's inherently non-existent in Spain for some reason, which I never realized. And this game could have had even more goals. So good read by us. And
Yeah,
your only win,
and
Harrison. And your only win.
just really nice to get one on the board. This game was wide open. I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily wide open every single time they play, but there's obviously chances every time they play, which is part of course, why we took the over. But just like watching this game, it was crazy just how back and forth this game was. and really, it could have been more than 5. So, uh, thankfully for me, getting on the board, needed it bad. Um, Also, you know, maybe an effort to get some of the coin back even more. I did bet over 4.5 live in, like, the 82nd minute just because I had a gut feeling, and thankfully, the gut feeling worked because Jude came through for me. So I ended up
He
actually
always
winning 2
does
bets on this game. He does. Actually, I ended up hitting 3 bets on this game because I did I had I had Vinicius to score
to
or assist,
score.
and
You get that as a
also
pick.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I had him to score or to get an assist, and he had both of those, and then the over 2.5. So, this game was profitable, which was nice to see, but again, El Clasico lives up to the hype as it always does.
Yeah, what a game! What a game! And I mentioned on the show, but Real Madrid have won last 4 El Clasicos. So Barcelona is
Good team.
extremely down bad. A team of collective individuals don't really get how they win these games, any game for that matter, in terms of the big games. But whatever Ancelotti, the Don has cooking over there, it's certainly working, and they're only getting better next year. So it's those
I
El
like
Clasicos are going to get tougher.
I saw, like, something recently, I don't remember, it might have just been, like, a TikTok clip, but, I like how Jude said, like, part of what makes Madrid good is they don't really have, like, a set system. They kinda just play, and they
There's
kinda just
no
run
game
all
plan.
they kinda just
There's
they're
zero
so
game
off
plan.
the so off the cuff that it's almost hard to, like, to know what you're gonna get from them. Like, how do you game plan for Madrid? It's like because Jude traditionally is just like just a classic midfielder, but the guy at times is like a withdrawn striker, and it's crazy just like how off the cuff they are, and you don't really know what you're gonna get.
They're track stars. Them and PSG are track stars. They soak up all your pressure and they're fine sitting back, and then they just hit it up to Jude. Jude holds it
Go.
up and then dinks it over the top to Vinicius or Rodrigo. They're off to the races, and either they'll go on goal and score, or they'll go and play it back for a layoff for Valverde or Modric or Cruz or Camavinga to hit an absolute rocket into the back of the net. Like, it makes no sense. If you're like a football tactics guy, it's honestly maddening. And I've had so many conversations about this with some friends offline, just with Matt Gesslin and Ewan, and I like genuinely don't understand how they win these games. Like it's almost like an alter. There's just something in the air that
Yeah,
these teams just like shut off when it comes to playing Real
yeah,
Madrid, and like you would think that managers could get the best out of Don Carlo, and it like just has not happened. And like
no,
Carlo Ancelotti, like one of the best managers of all time. I'm gonna say that. But like
no question.
he's had very horrendous stints at certain clubs.
Hmm.
And
Everton.
so it's like, yeah, Everton example is like the latest example. Like I I don't know how he got the Real Madrid job, to be honest. I mean, Lopetegui was such a moron. But I mean, damn. I didn't see that coming. It's I've enjoyed Don Carlo. I mean, the players love him. He plays for the guy. The players play for him. It's a good situation over there.
I mean, and you're just gonna add Mbappe to the fold, and then down the road you're gonna add Endrick to the fold, and then there's rumors of potentially adding Alfonso Davies to the fold. It's like, dude,
Yeah,
track
they're not
stars is a perfect way to put it.
the Galacticos aren't stopping. But let's go ahead and get to our record here. I have clawed my way back to close to the 500 at 39, 42, and 4. And Harrison, after your tough week, you got a little bit of a mountain to climb here with 39, 46, and
Oh,
8. But we'll go ahead and scroll just slightly down here. Um,
yeah, we don't need to go any further.
we don't. But we'll go ahead and start by giving some bangers out. Starting with the midweek games, we both have Liverpool, Manchester City parlay. Um,
I mean,
Merseyside Derby.
I mean,
What can you say? and Brighton aren't that good of a team either. Now, secretly, I'm hoping that they make City slip up. But I just don't see it happening.
I don't either. I mean, this should be just a nice little. It's going to come out to around even odds. I mean, this should be just a nice little. Here you go, free. I mean, if we need Liverpool and Man City just to take care of the job, make Arsenal work for it for the weekend. Um, I just think that this one has to go. This one has to go.
I mean, if this one doesn't go, we're gonna have to really rethink our strategy here.
Yep.
But let's just take care of business, Liverpool and City. So no harm, no foul here. Another play that we have together this week, not weekend, but tomorrow actually, and this will be out by then, is Sheffield United and Manchester United over 3.5. Manchester United hasn't kept a clean sheet in 6 matches. Sheffield hasn't kept a clean sheet in 14 matches. Sheffield are terrible. Manchester United
Horrific.
are horrific, but both
Yep.
teams kind of like to concede and to score. So I feel like over 3.5, no matter who the fuck plays, this number should get there.
It should. Definitely should. I mean, this
I
should.
hope
I mean, this
so.
this should be a game that United at home just dominate. Like they should kill Sheffield United.
I thought
And
the
I can
same
tell.
about
But
Coventry.
again, well, yeah, and I also thought the same about Liverpool when they played Sheffield United, but that game turned into an absolute sweat for no reason. So I guess we don't really know what Man United team we're going to get, but that's part of the beauty of taking the over because again, like
You don't have to pick a
I don't
side.
trust I don't trust either team defensively in the slightest. So this is going to be a play, regardless if it hits or not, that I'm taking 100 times out of 100.
Yes, I don't think you could have put that better. So I'd have to agree here. And I also have a midweek game here with Palace Newcastle. I mentioned on the show yesterday, Newcastle with this Elise, Eze, Mateta little front three here that they going with Adam Wharton in behind. Um, I'm liking what they're putting down here. I'm liking it a lot. And they just put 5
They're fun
past
to
West
watch.
Ham. They're very fun to watch. I mean, Oliver Glasner has done a fantastic job. And against, a Newcastle side who's injured as hell with, I mean, I'm looking at the projected back line for Newcastle here. Dan Byrne, Fabian Schär, those two are normal. Robert Kraft, and Jacob Murphy at right back. Oh
Robert
no.
Kraft.
And then Anderson and Longstaff with Bruno Guimaraes in the middle. I mean, they are an absolute hospital right now. And so if Oliver Glasner goes full strength here, which he probably should, then this game is going to have fireworks and I like it at over 3 here and I think we should be able to get there pretty easily. Any thoughts there?
Um, yeah, I would say with how Alexander Isak's also playing, that also should be a big boost as long as he's playing.
Yeah, he
Um,
is.
so,
And what's his name? Anthony Gordon is also in pretty dazzling form, if you will. Um, but we'll get to the Bundesliga on the weekend games. We You kind of talked me into Stuttgart plus a half point before this. Um, this was your gut pick, and just based on Bayer Leverkusen's they do play Roma next week on a Thursday. I think they will look to rest again. And the league is out of, question here. Obviously, I think we both would like Bayer Leverkusen to go unbeaten this season. But if they're going to slip up, I could see it being here. And so I'm going to go ahead and back Stuttgart off a loss and expect them to get it done against probably a B side Leverkusen.
yep, completely agree. And also,
Oh, boys, we have lost him. We have lost him. Um, Don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna go ahead and keep talking here. Let's see. But kind of going to what I have here. Sorry, going on the fly here. Bayer Stuttgart as well over 3, and with Stuttgart kind of having kind of having an edge here. I think there will be goals, and I could see this game being a lot of fun. And Gurasi and Undav didn't have their best game, so I'd expect a bounce back tonight, or sorry, Saturday. And I think that he's back. He's back and better than ever. There we go. Okay, let me get us back to where we were. Let's see. Are you still alive, Harrison? Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's not great.
We're struggling here. Okay, there we go. You're a little bit back.
Yeah, it's yeah. My phone died. I'm on my hotspot, so it's we're working through it.
There we go. But yeah, Stuttgart plus that point. Any last comments on why we like this?
Is this a Stuttgart game still?
Yeah. Any last words on Stuttgart?
Yeah, just get a tie. That's all we need.
All right. And I also have the over, like I mentioned, over 3 that should get there. So we both also have, in terms of Bundesliga, you have Leipzig versus Dortmund over 3.5 here. Kind of talk us through that. Yeah, and he's done for here, folks. Unfortunately, the Wi-Fi bug has gotten to us all. It is a damn shame. He's back though. Can you hear me now, or you're still going in and out?
I can hear you, but it's going to be hard for me to talk for a bit.
No, it's okay. I'll take it over from here and go over my plays. So Chelsea Villa over 3.5 here. Harrison also is taking this, and Chelsea just got a burger put on their forehead, and Aston Villa is just been embarrassing teams as of late. I expect the Chelsea bounce back in this one a little bit, but I think there will be some goals here. I think that Chelsea back line is just abysmal. Really depends on if Cole Palmer plays, if Chelsea's going to be a good football squad that day. And I think that I think that this over 3.5 should be cashed at any number. Now, in terms of my MLS plays, which I'm going to not lie here, it's probably my best league to bet in statistically. I have 2 plays this weekend, and the first play is Portland versus LAFC over 3. Portland are a very attacking team and very bad defensively. LAFC have been kind of a wishy-washy team, but they need a result here, and they probably smell blood in the water here with this with this Portland team. So I think this over 3 is a very safe number. And then Galaxy versus Austin here. I just been blindly taking every single Galaxy game, and it's been working out really well for me. So gonna go ahead and take Galaxy again, back Ricky Puig, Paintsil, and the boys to give me a nice over 3. And Austin are just abysmal defensively. Now, Harrison, would you talk us through Leipzig versus Dortmund?
Yeah, fun game. That's all I need again. So I would say in the recent history, I think this game has gone over like I wouldn't say every game. I don't have the stat right in front of me, but I would say it's been around like half, like 4 of the last 8, I would say. But most of them have been 3 goals per. So I'm going to take my chance here, 3.5. Xavi Siemens, Openda, plenty of weapons for Leipzig, and of course Dortmund have firepower up front too. So I would say this is a pretty good spot. Also, Leipzig at home traditionally are an over team at home, which I like a lot also. So I would say 3.5, fun game. Give me the over.
Have we considered so RB Leipzig have won 4 out of 5.
Moneyline?
Just gonna put that stat out there, and now Dortmund also have the biggest game of their season on Wednesday. So Katerzik rest some guys here, but the league matters a lot too because they're fighting for a Champions League spot because they probably know that they're not gonna go to the Champions League final. So how Terzic rotates this game, there might be a big Leipzig lean for me depending on how the lineups drop. I just wanted to put that out there for the loyal listeners who are still listening in here. Thank you so much for listening. And I wanted you to talk through the Villa Chelsea game. I mentioned it earlier. What do you think about that game?
Yeah, I expect Chelsea probably to get ripped apart.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure the stat is 35 goals allowed in their last 21. I don't love that.
That's an ouchie.
That's a that's a big old ouchie. So, but again, like we pose a threat offensively, and so like hopefully Cole Palmer is healthy by this point. I mean, it'll be like a week, and it's just an illness he's dealing with. So hopefully, it's just be a little washover, and he'll be good to go. But again, we can't keep the ball out of our net, and Ollie Watkins against our back line is frightening. So I'm just going to play the over here. No point in me playing Chelsea in any way. I really, at this point, I don't know if I just want to. I don't know if I want any part of this team anymore. To be honest, I'll do it as a fan. I'll be a part of them as a blue. But God, bet my wallet. I don't know if my wallet can take betting on Chelsea much longer this season. So just give me the over.
Don't blame you. Do not blame you, Harry. And the last play I have for us is Hoffenheim, Bochum over 3.5. Hoffenheim don't keep clean sheets, and they score a lot of goals. So Bochum need a win back against the wall. I could see a fun, desperate game here from Bochum, and therefore over 3.5. Been riding this Hoffenheim trend recently, the last probably month, and it's been going splendid for me as Hoffenheim Gladbach, which I don't even know if I mentioned – was a play last week in the card, and I think that ended 4-3, 7-goal thriller. So free as air. So I'm going to keep taking these Hoffenheim overs. But Harrison, let's go ahead and recap since we are running a little late here. Sheffield United over 3.5, Palace Newcastle over 3, Hoffenheim Bochum over 3.5, Bayer Stuttgart over 3, Stuttgart plus a half point. Chelsea Villa over 3.5, Galaxy Austin over 3, Portland LAFC over 3, and Liverpool City parlay.
Right there with you with Liverpool City parlay, Man U Sheffield over 3.5, Leipzig Dortmund over 3.5, Stuttgart plus a half, Villa Chelsea over 3.5. A lot of the same, but just not as many plays as you.
Yeah, well, we're gonna have to see kind of how that goes for me with this weekend and this week's games.
You got some solid MLS plays, and you've been the MLS sharp, so you know.
Yeah, gonna have to keep those winners coming, hopefully. And thank you so much for tuning in today, Harrison. Of course, thank you, and I hope everyone has a winning week and enjoys the football.